Public health experts state that Americans should not expect another pandemic, despite COVID-19 shaping public reaction to viruses like Ebola and hantavirus. This guidance addresses public anxiety following the pandemic. COVID-19 is shaping Americans' reaction to Ebola and hantavirus. A former prosecutor faces federal charges over allegations that she sent a report concerning Jack Smith's investigation into President Trump's handling of classified documents to her personal email account. This is a new development regarding the classified documents probe. This fund, drawn from taxpayer money, is intended to compensate allies who claim mistreatment by the Biden Justice Department. Jeff Bennett, speaking with former IRS Commissioner John Koskinen, characterized the sequence of government actions as unprecedented for any U.S. administration. Bennett noted that the ban on audits was quietly announced a day later, tucked into a Department of Justice press release. The discussion also covered new federal ethics disclosures. These records show more than 3,700 stock trades made under President Trump's name in companies like Meta, Amazon, and Disney, among others. These trades were valued at up to around $750 million in the first 3 months of this year. The original tax return grievance, Bennett explained, stemmed from an IRS contractor who leaked President Trump's tax returns during his first term. That contractor was reportedly caught and went to prison for the leak. The evidence does not detail the specific legal mechanism for the permanent ban on IRS audits. The discussion centers on the timing of this ban relative to the establishment of the compensation fund, suggesting ongoing scrutiny of these financial and regulatory actions. Authorities confirmed 3 people are dead and more than a dozen first responders had to be quarantined and assessed Wednesday after an incident involving an unidentified substance at a rural New Mexico home. New Mexico State Police reported that 3 of the 4 people found unresponsive inside the residence east of Albuquerque died. During the response, first responders began experiencing symptoms, including nausea and dizziness. Officials at the University of New Mexico Hospital confirmed that 23 patients exposed to the unknown substance were assessed and decontaminated after being transported. Albuquerque Fire Rescue Hazmat teams assisted at the scene in the rural community to identify the substance. Investigators stated that they believe the substance may be transmitted through contact and do not believe it to be airborne. Medical teams continued to monitor 3 symptomatic patients Wednesday evening, and hazmat teams are working to identify the substance. 2 first responders were also listed in serious condition, according to New Mexico State Police. The investigation into the substance remains active, and medical teams are continuing to monitor the symptomatic patients. Following his defeat in the Kentucky GOP primary for the U.S. House, Thomas Massie denied charges and stated he is generally against all foreign aid. Massie also argued that the country needs leaders who prioritize principles over party affiliation. He claimed that young voters remain supportive of him, while criticizing the strategy of seeking consensus. The race saw millions of dollars spent against Massie by pro-Israel interest groups, including the Republican Jewish Coalition Victory Fund. He stated people that want somebody that will go along to get along. I've never heard of that strategy, but that seems to be what the voters want. Massie concluded by saying, there is a yearning in this country for someone who will vote for principles over party. The immediate consequence was Massie conceding defeat to Ed Galrine. The ruling came despite concerns that providing the care could lead to the loss of federal funding. The legal action originated from 4 transgender girls aged 10 to 17 who sued the hospital through their parents. The girls stated they feared losing access to necessary medication and monitoring needed to prevent puberty development. The court specifically concluded that the immediate harm to the petitioners outweighed any speculative harm the hospital might face from federal action. The hospital previously stated it would continue providing mental health treatment for minors and medical treatment for patients aged 18 to 21. Following the ruling, the hospital said it is reviewing the court's decision and considering its next steps. The dispute centered on the care provided for gender dysphoria, which is defined as distress when a person's gender expression does not match the sex assigned at birth. The next step remains the hospital's review of the court's ruling.